各位觀眾大家好，歡迎收睇26分鐘見證實錄。相信好多人都仲記得新冠肺炎疫情喺卑詩省爆發嘅初期，有好多位於溫哥華嘅商鋪陸續暫停營業，紛紛為店鋪門前封上木板。之後由溫哥華壁畫節聯合多個本地商業促進會共同發起，邀請咗超過40位嘅藝術家喺商鋪木板上面繪製壁畫，希望向社區傳遞信心同埋鼓勵。當時呢啲壁畫喺疫情沉重嘅氣氛之下，為市面帶嚟一點色彩。不過，隨住經濟重啟、商店重開，呢啲嘅壁畫作品現時又去咗邊度呢？而溫哥華壁畫節近期舉辦嘅冬季藝術節，又希望為公眾繼續帶嚟乜嘢嘅藝術體驗呢？2020年新冠疫情期間，一幅幅出現喺溫哥華市暫停營業嘅商店門前木板外嘅壁畫，形成咗一道亮麗嘅城市風景線。當時我哋就採訪咗多位參與該項目嘅藝術家，了解佢哋嘅創作靈感以及經歷。而呢一幅位於校街一間商店木板上嘅壁畫作品，係由本地藝術家 Priscilla Yu 創作完成。Priscilla 話：希望佢嘅文字同埋繪畫能夠為大家帶嚟希望。
This wall over here is a little bit like a mental space. So it's like maybe like something that it's like a visual representation of maybe someone's mind. And then this text kind of corresponds with that. In the silent spaces of solitude, your strength is revealed. So I hope that kind of gives people some hope if they're feeling kind of isolated. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to be isolated because you can kind of like work on yourself, and I think that it's really valuable to do that.
而佢嘅創作靈感就係嚟自疫情爆發初期，獨自喺屋企隔離生活嘅一段經歷。呢一次亦係佢第一次喺壁畫作品之中運用自己嘅文字。
I felt like a little bit vulnerable in doing it for the first time, but in the end of it, it was like it feels really good to be able to share my own words where everyone can see it. And like I've had a lot of conversations with people walking by that told me that they connected with it, and like just a lot of people thanking me, which is like really nice.
Priscilla 話：主辦機構溫哥華壁畫節並未有過多限制佢嘅創作諗法，而佢就用咗7日嘅時間獨立完成咗呢一幅作品。佢表示非常高興能夠參與呢一個項目，獲得咗咁唔同嘅體驗。
There's like so many good things about this project. Like first of all, working with the Mural Festival, they're a really great team. I love working with them. Second of all, like I was like really wanting to do something like this, and so the right opportunity, like this opportunity, came at the right time. Painting outdoors, like in a silent corner of the downtown, is pretty like uncommon.
而本地藝術家 Megan McGrath 嘅壁畫作品，當時位於 Burra 街上一間喺疫情期間暫停營業嘅戶外用品店外。朵朵綻放嘅櫻花吸引咗唔少路人駐足。Megan 話：呢一幅作品嘅文字部分其實係嚟自商家嘅提議。
The name I would just call it Together for What's to Come. It's just titled as it is because I worked with architects to come up with what they wanted to say. So yeah, I think it's important to put something that's going to uplift people at this time.
而佢就希望櫻花能夠為整座城市帶嚟春天嘅氣息。
I mean, I love spring because it's like it's a reminder that life always renews itself, even in the midst of chaos and so much going on, and the world's a dark place, spring still comes, you know? So I wanted to bring that into my art, is that the fact that you can't stop spring.
佢認為參與今次嘅壁畫項目係用藝術回歸社會嘅一種方式。
I think everyone at this time wants to give back in a way that they can, and I think it's the responsibility of artists to bring their own beauty into the world, especially when there's a time when everything's dark and uncertain, then everyone's experienced a range of emotions, and so I think it's the role of the artist to create poetry and to create color and bring that into the world.
Magga 話：佢非常高興，有好多人都好中意佢呢一幅壁畫作品。
This one girl came by, she said, "You're making history," and I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
溫哥華壁畫節活動總監 Adrian Sinclair 當時介紹話，今次壁畫項目係喺多個本地組織及機構嘅支持之下得以成功舉行，而無論係商家定係藝術家都非常之積極響應。
We launched this project because we wanted to team up with the local artists in Vancouver that we've worked with for the past 5 years with our festival, and also connect them with opportunities with local businesses in Vancouver, especially in downtown Vancouver, where the COVID virus has made it so that the businesses can't open and their shops are all boarded up. So we worked with the local business improvement associations to help support the artists, to connect them with the buildings and the owners, and also the business improvement associations and Van City Credit Union have both helped sponsor for the fees for the artists and for the supplies.
Adrian 話：同以往嘅壁畫節活動唔同嘅係，喺呢一次嘅特殊時期，呢啲壁畫作品所傳遞嘅正面信息，鼓舞住好多嘅公眾，亦都令到藝術家感到前所未有嘅滿足。不過喺該次訪問冇幾耐之後，隨住本省經濟逐步重啟，位於溫氏嘅商鋪基本已經重開，而呢啲用嚟封住門前嘅木板，亦都被一一拆除。而即使商業街區已經係陸續恢復往日熱鬧嘅景象，呢一啲嘅壁畫嘅去向卻係成為咗公眾以及藝術家們關心嘅問題。溫市中心商業促進會作為該項目嘅支持機構之一，最初幫助溫哥華壁畫節成功聯絡咗轄區內嘅23間商戶，與藝術家們共同合作。而當時嘅促進會行政總裁 Charles Gauthier 話：佢哋會保存部分嘅壁畫作品，用以未來嘅展出。
We have plans to do that hopefully before the end of the summer. So people that didn't come down to see them while they were actually up, because we weren't encouraging people to gather, and we are encouraging people to stay home and stay healthy. We will be displaying them in a very prominent place within the downtown area, similar to an art exhibit. Well, we wanted to get the ones that actually captured people's imagination. So one of the murals that was featured prominently was one where healthcare workers were shown as angels, and it was actually at the Colony Bar on Granville Street. So we thought that one would capture the imagination of people, and it would be a reminder, in 2, 5, or 10 years, about how much we admire the work of our healthcare workers.
現時事隔2年之後，部分被保留嘅壁畫又被點樣處置呢？
And for the murals that we did, or for the Winter Arts Festival?
我哋再次聯絡咗溫市中心商業促進會，採訪咗佢哋嘅現任行政總裁 Nolan Marshall III。佢話：該壁畫項目為市中心帶嚟咗活力同色彩。
Sure. So the murals were a really positive alternative during the beginning of the pandemic when many businesses were being boarded up. And so the public really received the murals very well. It created a public art project in downtown that was very walkable. And we found that whenever we can create public art in downtown, whether that be the murals that we did or a partnership with Vancouver Mural Festival or the Fleur de Ville Flower Festival that has happened twice now in downtown, we find that the public really receives that well. And it just creates a sense of welcoming and vibrancy and something else to do downtown, to walk around and see the public art.
當時所有嘅壁畫都以照片形式被記錄落嚟，咁同一啲完整嘅壁畫作品一齊喺位於市中心嘅 Pendulum 畫廊展出，而最終保留至今。公眾仍然能夠欣賞到嘅壁畫作品一共有4幅。
3 of the murals are at 2 local businesses, the Pawn Shop and Kafka on Main Street. One mural is still in place in front of the venue, which has been shuttered since the pandemic, but we hope it'll reopen soon and we can do something else with that mural. And the last mural was donated to Vancouver Coastal Health, and it's currently prominently displayed at Vancouver General Hospital.
佢表示，即使整個項目面臨一定嘅挑戰，但最終嘅結果令人滿意。
We want to make sure that it creates an experience, and so the challenges are making sure that it creates an experience for the viewer and the walker downtown. So having the murals placed within proximity to each other is always a challenge, so that it gives that experience to the visitor to downtown and to the worker to downtown. Making sure that we have enough resources to provide murals to everyone that would be interested in is always a challenge. But I think we did a pretty good job of doing so. I think what made this project so great is that because of the pandemic, several of the businesses felt the need to place the boards in front of their windows or doors anyway. And so that part of the logistical hurdle was easy. The boards were already there. What we were able to do is partner with artists and partner with Vancouver Mural Festival, Van City Bank, and provide artists an opportunity to really display their work on those boards that were already there. And so it wasn't a challenging project to implement, and it really was a timely project because of the onslaught of the pandemic.
路倫話：促進會將會繼續同藝術家們合作，迎接市中心嘅重啟以及繁榮。
We will always be looking to partner with artists to create opportunities to do murals downtown. We frequently partner with Vancouver Mural Fest to do artwork all over downtown. The specific project around doing artwork on boarded up windows and doors, we are excited that that project can conclude as people are coming back downtown and stores no longer feel the need to board up their windows and doors. We look forward to being able to welcome people back into many of those retailers and nightclubs and establishments that were boarded up during the pandemic.
由溫哥華壁畫節舉辦嘅冬季藝術節喺今年嘅2月咧喺溫市中心拉開序幕。咁今次嘅活動嘅意義係乜嘢呢？藝術家以及主辦單位希望通過藝術作品去傳遞乜嘢信息呢？歡迎返嚟節目時間。隨住卑斯嘅疫情限制逐步放寬啊，咁喺市中心舉辦嘅藝術節活動唔再係商鋪封鎖，公眾之間冇辦法近距離接觸嘅景象啦，而係多處可見嘅藝術作品，以及夜間璀璨嘅燈光，一掃長久以嚟被疫情籠罩嘅陰霾，為市中心帶嚟生氣。本地藝術家 Taffy 嘅作品喺位於溫市中心嘅 Bento 中心大樓前展出嘅時候，吸引咗唔少途人欣賞。
So this piece is basically a soft sculpture or an inflatable art, and there's a layer of augmented reality that's on top of it, and it's interactive. So it's meant for you to put yourself within the artwork. So it's also filled with black and white patterns. So if you stand in front of it after you scan your QR code, then the layer of patterns will be on your body, and then you can be a part of the art installation. It's pretty much a fun art piece that I really enjoy doing, and I hope the viewers and participants really enjoy working with it too.
作為壁畫家，同時亦都係紡織品設計師，Taffy 嘅作品融入咗好多圖案。佢表示咁樣係一種值得流傳落去嘅原住民嘅交流方式。
If you had a baby, people would put whole elaborate stories, and then they would weave or they would make dye a piece of fabric that told the story of that family and these historical moments. And I really thought that as a modern artist that we were losing some of those really unique pieces or unique way of communication within the work, and I chose to incorporate that within my work. For me, the circles represent people because we're all the same, slightly different, because they're all hand done, so each one is slightly different, but ultimately we're the same, and we're on a collective journey together, and that's the basis of my stories within my work. So I applied that to these sculptures, and then the sculptures are also made up of these circles, which are a part of my patterns. So it's a layering of patterns on top of patterns.
佢介紹話，從去年11月起開始構思以及設計該作品，通過整個團隊嘅努力，先至能夠最終完成。
It had to be able to be possible. If it was too, I had like some other really ambitious ideas, but we had to really try to scale it down so it would be possible within the timeline that we have. And then there's also restrictions with making an inflatable itself too. So it took us a few months of, going back and forth, and then finally deciding on these three.
佢希望通過該作品傳達所有人都係一家人嘅概念。
The general theme of my work is its unity amongst different people. And this is like a little family, so they're called a paternity, but it's like a pattern and their unity together. So especially in a time like this, I think it's important for us to think of ourselves as a family. I think with public art like this, it's so good to have an interaction with people who you wouldn't normally have access to. So I can post this on my Instagram feed. So for people who have, patronized my work for years, who are like on the east side of Canada, or even in other countries, they can now interact with this art at home. So they can use the augmented reality version of it and then feel as if they're a part of this festival, even though they're not here.
今次並唔係 Taffy 第一次同溫哥華壁畫節合作，但係佢話卻係一次全新嘅體驗。
But this is my first time actually doing inflatable sculptures and augmented reality. So it was really something that was so new, and I like to challenge myself and like to experiment with new mediums. And I thought it would be a very interesting project to do, and I'm so happy I did it. It was so much fun. 事實上 ，Taffy 嘅該個作品係由溫哥華壁畫節舉辦嘅冬季藝術節嘅展覽作品之一。
So we're working with artists to really transform the experience of their artwork into multiple different mediums. And so that's a really, really cool thing for us to be able to do.
溫哥華壁畫節執行董事 Andrea Curtis 話：呢一個活動好有意義。
When people were suffering through COVID and through isolation during the pandemic, we still needed something to do safely and on our own. And so we installed a bunch of augmented reality sculptures around the downtown core last year. And through that success, we knew that now was the time to expand on the festival, create a hub where people can come, enjoy a drink, listen to music, and we hope to keep expanding from here. So it really is a full downtown celebration, and we're inviting the city to come back and discover downtown, check out the artwork that's free, open 24 hours a day, and it's for all ages to come and check it out. So you can come and see different types of sculpture, different types of augmented reality, and then you come down here to the hub, then there's music and dance and all kinds of things as well.
Andrea 又話：藝術節開幕嘅第一日，佢喺現場感受到公眾巨大嘅熱情。
The moment we opened the gates, the crowds poured through, and it just warmed my heart to see that. And we did have lineups around the block for people to get in. So the capacity, just as of last night, has changed. So we will be allowing more people into the venue. I expect that there might be some lineup still if the weather is really nice, but the response has been amazing. Not just here at the hub, but also the people who are going to see all the augmented reality pieces. We can tell how many scans an augmented reality artwork has got, and we can just see that the public is scanning the artworks and seeing them come alive.
而充氣雕塑以及擴增實景係今次藝術節嘅亮點之一。
Some of the really neat things that we've done this year is the sculptural elements. We have a lot of inflatable sculptures, which really give a sense of size to the work that we're doing, but then the augmented reality is also interacting with those sculptures, so you can experience that all over the city. We've got 11 different locations to experience those augmented reality events. It's pretty neat.
去年嘅冬季藝術節，由於正值新冠疫情，雖然有超過34,000人參與，但佢哋並唔能夠互相接觸，更多嘅係通過手機程式去觀看欣賞。而今次隨住本省嘅防疫限制逐步放寬，參與活動嘅人數亦都大增。但係 Andrea 就表示，衞生安全仍然係非常重要。
We are hanging off of every word of the public health authority, so we're watching that so closely. The moment notices come out, we're always trying to make sure that we're prepared to offer something that is safe and open. One of the reasons that we operate outdoors in public space. We take up as much space as possible to allow people to have the freedom to move. We did build this festival within the pandemic. We only launched it last year, and so we built it with COVID in mind. So trying to make sure that no matter what happens, the experience can go on and it's still safe for the people to come. Really keen to see more and more people feel safe to come back to the downtown core. I really want to support the visitors and the locals who live here to know that we haven't gone dark during the pandemic, that art is alive here and that celebration is alive here, and it's such a unique and powerful celebration that we know that tourists are going to come from all over as this continues to grow.
而今次嘅藝術節唔單止係只有本地藝術家，亦都有國外嘅藝術家參與。
Normally, the artists we work with haven't ever done augmented reality. They haven't done sculpture or they haven't done murals. Some of them are even tattoo artists or designers, textile designers. They come from so many different experiences, but we work with them to translate their art into something larger. So we don't expect people to necessarily have the skills for what we're building, but we help them get there. Effectively, we don't have to bring everybody here in order to do amazing things. Our team on the ground is prepared to support artists as far away as, Japan or China or Australia. And so we connect with them within those time zones. That's the only hard part, really. And then we're still able to work together across the globe. Pretty neat. When we do the murals in the summer, we can't fly people in. But when we do augmented reality, we can do that with people who don't have to cross our border.
Andrea 就再次感謝溫市中心商業促進會一直以嚟嘅支持，以及私人同埋公共支持者嘅資助。同時喺疫情期間，佢哋亦都獲得咗一啲聯邦政府以及省府嘅資金補助。
As we're coming out of the pandemic, it helped us get workers back to work, people who were suffering, not able to work in cultural spaces, inside of venues, inside of theaters, artists who weren't able to perform. So getting the funding like that helps us to build a stage to invite these people back and invite the crowds back. Thanks to the support of the Downtown Business Association, we've been able to reach out to multiple different plazas and public spaces in the downtown core. And so we've invited different buildings to join us in the celebration.
溫市中心商業促進會行政總裁 Nolan Marshall III 話：促進會一直以嚟都非常高興能夠贊助喺市中心舉行嘅各項活動。
One of the things that we really take pride in is curating the public realm. And so we always want to make sure that there are vibrant events taking place downtown, whether that be the Granville Promenade, which we did last summer, or Winter Arts Festival, which we're doing right now. We always want to make sure that there's something vibrant going on downtown, something great that you can hear when you're downtown, whether that's music and things that you can see visually, whether that's murals, whether that's public sculptures. All of that stuff adds to the vibrancy of downtown. And it adds to the welcoming feeling that downtown has, so that when you come downtown, you're never quite sure what you're going to see, but it's going to be something exciting and something new.
咁而今次嘅展出亦都為疫情好轉下嘅市中心增添光彩。
And it's a really great event because it takes advantage of the technology growth in the city of Vancouver. We're becoming a tech hub for a lot of businesses around the world and really homegrown tech talent. And the Winter Arts Festival really incorporates virtual reality in a way that's unique, it's creative, and so we're really proud to be the title sponsor of that. It's bringing lots of people back downtown, and we're really excited to see people on the streets of downtown again.
而隨住疫情限制放寬 ，Nolan 話促進會以及好多嘅企業都非常期待睇到有更多人能夠回歸市中心。
I mean, we all know that office workers are not here in the numbers that they were before, that tourists aren't here in the numbers that they were before, but we're really excited about the spring and about the kinds of events and kinds of public artwork that will welcome people back when they come to downtown.
好啦，今集嘅節目時間就差唔多啦。咁如果觀眾對我哋嘅節目有啲乜嘢意見嘅話，係好歡迎大家以電郵嘅方式同我哋聯絡㗎。我哋嘅電郵地址係 mag26@fairchildtv.com。如果觀眾想重溫翻今集嘅節目，亦都可以上到去我哋嘅網站3w.fairchildtv.com， 點擊節目重溫一欄就可以睇得翻㗎啦。好啦，下星期同一時間再同大家見面，晚安。